all this up. Oh my goodness. Where do I even begin? It's too bright. Is that better? Powdered donuts, anyone? "2024. Where do I even begin?" Welcome back to the channel, guys. I know it's been a very, very long time since I've updated on story, what I've been up to, any projects that I've been working on. Unfortunately, it hasn't been much because I've been really going through it in 2024, and that's mainly what I wanted to talk about in this video. Just go over my entire 2024, the highs and the lows, mostly lows, but we're gonna get through it, and hopefully you can understand where I'm coming from by the end of this. It's been quite the ride, and again, I don't even know where to begin. I just want to start off by saying that I hope you all are well and you're doing well, and maybe you had a better 2024 than I did. I hope so, and I hope going forward with 2025 it'll be even better. And I hope for all of us that we are manifesting in 2025 a very, very good year, full of good things, new opportunities, new projects, definitely lots of new projects, lots to talk about. Also, I should address the elephant in the room, or the van, that is. Why am I in a van? What's going on? Yeah, so I live in a van now. I've been living in a van since October. It's a very long story, and I'll get into it later, but yeah, so I live in a van now, and I'm going into 2025 unemployed. That didn't happen until like a few days ago, and I'm gonna get into that as well. It's just a whole shit show clusterfuck of things that have been happening this year. But hopefully, going into 2025, we turn things around, and we make a better present and future for ourselves. So let's get into it. That was a fox, I think. Yep. These foxes are screaming bloody murder while I'm trying to make a video. I need a donut. Let me go ahead and get through this before I get eaten by foxes. First of all, in January, I went into 2024 without my therapist. I have a therapist, just, it's part of the support system. It's the healthier way to go and deal with your mental health when you have a lot of going on and don't have anybody to talk to. Lost my therapist due to her losing her office, because I think the guy she was working with, who rented out the whole office suite, he wasn't renewing the lease, and so she lost her office space. And then she ended up retiring, and we stopped our sessions. I mention all of this because of the renewing the lease thing, higher rent, inflation. You're going to see how all of these things happening in 2024 pretty much connect to each other. Starting the year off strong without my therapist, there's that. In March, I bought this van because I kind of was inspired to do van life because I was watching some YouTubers, and that was the next thing that I was becoming passionate about. I was inspired to buy a van, went ahead and did it in March, paid $4,000 for this thing. It was a bit of a fixer-upper at first because it came with these hardware shelves, and I have clips where I'm working on it. I'm getting rid of the hardware shelves, and I decided to remove them because I wanted a very clear space to just start working on in the van. I was thinking that I would start the floor, installing the floor, things like that. And I explained my reasoning for wanting a van in the first place. If not immediately to start the van life projects and building it out and everything, I wanted to have the van to just carry a lot of stuff. If you're going to a park or you want to hang out with friends and have a barbecue or something, you can pretty much just pack it all in there, pack some speakers, big cooler, lots of beer. You can bring a party with you wherever you go, and I just think that's really cool about having a lot of space in a vehicle, and basically have a garage wherever I go, things like that. I just think it's really cool being able to just lay down and go to sleep if I need to. I want to apologize if I'm coming off a little bit stiff in this video. It's a little bit chilly in here. I don't know if you've noticed. Yeah, it's December 27th. Christmas passed. We're going into New Year's, but I'm leaving the Christmas lights up beyond New Year's. Not taking them down quite yet. I like them a lot. Okay, so there's that. So I bought the van in March. So I was doing that from like late March into April, and just kind of enjoying the van space that I had. I had like folding tables and lawn chairs, my cooler, my grill. At some point I brought my inflatable boats and some life jackets, and we went out on the lake and we tried the inflatable boat, and that was a lot of fun. Yeah, so already I'm just like enjoying all of the space that I have in my new van. So starting springtime off pretty strong and going places, doing things, especially with my friends, and we've just been having like a lot of fun. Got the van, haven't really worked on it yet, and all this time I'm thinking like I have to install the floor, I have to work on doing that, I have to learn how to work with wood and what kind of wood to buy, and it's just all a little bit overwhelming. Like I have to get like a cohesive guide when I do decide to actually, do the project. Obviously haven't done the project and it's already December. I bought this back in March. This is about what I've done with it. You just hang some throw blankets up on the side. It's like, oh, that's pretty homey. Good enough. No, I need insulation. That's probably the first project that I have to do. Insulation. Then in June was a big month. Okay, so it's a lot, guys. It's a lot. So June, I start a video introducing you guys to the van. I'm in the van working on it. I was doing just a small little project to make it a little more homey in here. I decided to string up some lights and connect them to a power source. String would be the best option. I was trying to hook it up via screwing in some bolts, and that was more trouble than it was worth. And I got really sweaty doing it. It was like 90 something degrees in the middle of June. So I definitely need to install a cooling fan. I think the cold I can do. The summer heat, not so much. Very uncomfortable. So I string up the lights, and that's a project, and I get so sweaty, and I end the video there, and then I turn on the lights later. I get the power source, and it's nighttime, and I light up the van, and it looks really nice. I like the results. Just a couple days after I make that video where I string up all the lights, I find out that my landlord sold our apartment building without telling us. All of a sudden, there's this new guy, and he's immediately starting all of this construction. Now, this place was pretty dilapidated and it needed fixing up. We were all just blindsided, and this all just was happening very fast, and our lives were being disrupted very quickly with all of these projects that this guy was doing, and we weren't getting any sort of a rent discount, no accommodations whatsoever. Just deal with it or get the fuck out. That's legally basically how it is, and it sucks. So that was basically our situation for months and months and months until the house was really all fixed up. They had to do all the siding, they had to redo all the porches, completely remove the porches so they could redo them all together, redo the whole structure. But yeah, it needed to be done, but damn, it was just so much happening so fast. They had to redo the roof and everything, but I don't think the landlord knew just how much work had to be done on this house. I think he kind of regrets buying the place and doing all this. So I have some clips of all of the noise that I was dealing with. I don't know if the sound on my phone is doing this justice, but it sounds like a fucking earthquake is going on up there. You can feel the apartment shaking. And they started at 7 a.m. It's now 8 a.m. And I imagine, just like the other days, they're going to go for 12 hours to 7 p.m. They could just legally work 12 or so hours on this, which is, I guess, fine if you're a tenant who sleeps at night when they would be stopping, but I work overnight. I've always worked overnight. Well, for the past 6 years, I've been working overnight shifts. They do the construction work in the daytime, so I can't sleep in the daytime. So where does that leave me? I'm screwed. So it's looking more and more like I really do have to start van life. I really do have to move into my van. I was thinking about it anyway, but damn, I guess I really have to now. I guess I really gotta put my money where my mouth is, huh? It was all just coming together at the same time. I'm like psychic. It's like I knew this would happen. I knew this would happen. That's why future me told past me to buy a van so that I have somewhere to, like, sleep. I know people have been saying, like, get insulation. Just get some fucking insulation. And I'm like, I'm lazy. And now I'm regretting being lazy. But if I just layer up enough, I'm fine. I got my insulated sleeping bag. I'm fine. So we have new landlord, lots of construction, lots and lots of construction. Not able to sleep for my night shifts, my overnight shifts. Starting to think that van life is a viable option at this point. Also, I just want to say for anyone who might be wondering, the cats are fine. The cats are super safe. They're with my dad, still in the apartment. I wouldn't drag any of them into my extreme van life situation. No way in hell I'm doing that. They're basically my dad's cats anyway. It sounds weird to say because I've lived with them for so long, but that's basically how it is. I did visit them recently over the holidays, and they're pretty chill. They're the same as they've ever been, so... Yeah, so I was constantly late for work as a result of not being able to sleep. It was just a clusterfuck of things that were going on, and it only went downhill from there, I guarantee you. Now we're in July. Construction projects are underway. I'm miserable. I'm showing up to work very tired, not sleeping enough, sluggish, not motivated at all. July, middle of July, I think it was July 12th, I find out that our store is closing. The store that I've been working at for the past 6 years. Yeah, it's closing. I'm going to have to relocate to another store. Everybody that I work with has to relocate, and they have job uncertainty now. Love that for us. They're going to end up getting transferred somewhere, but it's like they're losing their home. Like, they've been here forever. A lot of them don't even drive. Why, like, this year is so fucking miserable? Like, what is it about this year that's so miserable? It's gotta be Joe Biden. Are we seeing a pattern here? Losing my therapist, losing my store. My old landlord probably didn't want to pay for this house anymore, the taxes and everything, so he sold it. You know, these things are just happening like so much all around. I just have to talk about it because it's like, I know so many people are going through the same thing. I don't want to be seeing people losing their jobs and shit. Like, it's like sad and scary. So eventually everyone's gonna have to relocate once the store really does close, and we closed it on October. There's just a lot going on this year, and it was just like so much. I have to just get it off my chest, bro. So yeah, that was really sad, and it was really sad just showing up to work every day after that. We were all just dejected and upset. Families would be working together in those stores. You know, you had mothers and sons, you had brothers and sisters. I continued to show up late because I wasn't getting enough sleep, and I was already just so miserable from the situation at home, spending more time in my van or not wanting to be home, going to the gym, and continued to be late. Managers were like, "Why are you late?" Blah, blah, blah. And I tried to explain to them, and I also explained to them for years. I've been explaining to management for about 2 years now that night crew hours haven't been working for me, and I don't want to work night crew anymore because I want a change of routine. I want a change of schedule, and I'm always drained after work. I want my evenings back, all sorts of reasons. Editing Kevin here. I just wanted to pop in and say that the managers really were on my ass about being late. I kind of make them sound a bit nonchalant in the video when in reality they were pretty chalant. They had me in the office, they wrote me up a couple times, and by the end of it, the main manager wrote this long-ass letter threatening my position if I continued to be late, and then I set it on fire in the parking lot because leave me alone. That's how I feel about your stupid-ass, threatening-ass letter. Anyway, let's get back into the video where I kind of jump and continue talking about construction again. It was just constantly on and off, 12 hours at a time. Insane, and they were playing loud music too at times. I could hear it vibrating like throughout the whole freaking apartment. I could not deal with that. I'm like, fuck this, I'm going to my van. I don't care how hot it is. I'll sleep naked if I have to. Like, I need my fucking sleep. So it's September 13th. I'm laying here in the air conditioning. I slept in my van this morning after work, and I woke up around 2 p.m. and it was too hot in my van. It was about 80 degrees outside, I think, and in my van it was a bit hotter than that, and I just woke up like drenched in sweat. So I thought I would come home and, do my laundry, but once I got home, I was like, I want to cool off. So I'm laying here in the air conditioning, and I'm hearing all of the noise on the roof that they're doing. They're just doing work all around outside the apartment, and getting into the building is like hazardous. They have stuff like falling from the fucking building, and there's just a mess all over the place. I'm done. It was just so much happening at once. There was just one thing after another after another. This was just a sinister 2024, bro. It was just sinister, diabolical that this is how 2024 played out. And we're not even done. We're not even fucking done, bro. I would be talking about all this with my therapist, but I don't have one anymore. I think it actually makes me much more entertaining not having a therapist. So we had like 3 people left on our crew in the end. Then, like the last couple weeks or so, or the last 3 weeks or so, they send our 3rd guy to the other store while we're continuing to get these huge loads that we need a 3rd person to do. Like at least a 3rd person. We need 4, but still. You're gonna send our 3rd guy to another store while we're still getting huge loads? Nothing they were doing was making any sense. It was just so incredibly frustrating, and I was so fed up. I was tired. I was losing it. I was just so unmotivated. I was like, fuck this shit. I don't want to even be here, because it's like they're just fucking us over in so many different ways, and I'm just so tired, bro. I'm just so tired, so I'm unmotivated as fuck. I'm showing up late, and eventually it comes to bite me in the ass how many times I've been late. Of course it does. Just a week and a half before the store officially closes, I get called into the office and spoken to about being late many, many times. He pulls out a stack of paper, highlights every time that I've been late. He rubs that in my face when I'm at the desk with him. He's flipping through the pages. He's flipping through all the pages, and I'm just like, wow, you did all that? Like, bro killed a fucking tree to show me how many times I was late. Like, you could have just not done that. You could have maybe just shown me on your phone. I don't know. It was very bizarre. So anyway, after some arguing back and forth, because I like to argue, it ended with me being suspended. That's really what I need right now, being suspended on top of literally everything else. Yeah, so all of these things are piling up on each other, and one is causing the other, and again, it's this intertwined madness of things happening in 2024 that are not making me a very happy camper, let's just say that. I'm so chilly. This is the body language of a frozen person. Also, don't worry, because I rented an office space, so that's where I basically keep warm and work on videos and work on my computer and stuff. So it's not like it's all like this. It's like I have a warm place to be. It's fine. So I'm just gonna play a clip. Today is also the day that my store is officially closing. It is the last day. And I'm gonna go to the store, visit people, say my goodbyes. They're going to officially close at 3. I gotta get my paycheck too, so again, I'm suspended, but I'm still gonna visit the store. I'm just bummed that they fucking suspended me a week and a half before the store closed. So it's just like, it's fucked up. Fucked up. What is my life right now? Yeah, so it was just pretty sad watching the shelves go and watching them empty out and just gut the store basically and make way for the new store. We would just come in, and each week it would be less and less stuff and things that they were taking away and getting rid of certain shelves in the produce section, clearing out the produce section too. First it was grocery, I think, and HBC. And you just saw the shelves get emptier and emptier, and the store getting more and more just lifeless. Very sad. I had a lot of friends there and we worked really well together and I liked a lot of people there and they were just a lot of great people and I'm gonna miss it a lot. I won't miss the job itself, but I'll miss the time that I had with them. It was nice while it lasted. Sometimes it didn't even feel like work because they were around, so it was just nice. I actually looked forward to going to work at times because of them. It's important to have people like that in the workplace, and I'm gonna miss them very much. But we still hang out sometimes. Then I get sent to this other store, and I do not like it at all. It is such a far cry from what I knew at my old store, and I just found that I was more resented there because I was the third full-timer there, and I think the part-timers resented me a bit because I was probably the reason they were not on the schedule as much. So I had that resentment from them. The full-timers were just treating me like garbage, and they were very passive aggressive to me, and there was the one guy in charge, and he would just be throwing things and slamming things if I didn't do everything the way he wanted me to do it. Just very controlling. At some point he was basically just keeping me from leaving almost the store. I was like, no, I'm leaving. You're not gonna keep me here, dude. It was just such a night and day difference of working crews. It was I didn't have my friends anymore, and this crew was just taking everything just as seriously as you would in a hospital operating unit. I was like, damn, it's not that serious. Why are you treating me like I don't know what I'm doing just because I'm not doing it your weird OCD way of doing things? I know how to work. You're not allowing me the autonomy to work, and you're hovering over me at all times. It's do everything exactly this way. And I was just this is way too controlling. It is not that serious, dude. It is not that serious. It will never be that serious. In a goddamn grocery store, dude. I was holy crap, this guy is insane. This, of course, was after I had to fight for my job back after suspension. I just had to call the union rep, and we had a union meeting with the main store manager of the store that I was going to, and he let me get my job back after being late because I explained to him that all of the construction and everything, they accepted me back, no problem. But the crew that I ended up working on in night crew, which I did tell them I don't want night crew anymore, so if we can use this transitional period of changing stores to get me a new opportunity in the daytime, which would work for me a lot better, I would really appreciate that, right? But I had to stay on night crew because they really needed a night crew person at that store. And this turned out to be total bullshit because if they really needed more night crew people, they could just schedule their part-timers more hours. But they bring in this full-timer, me, and they immediately start cutting the part-timers' hours. So I was like, fine, but I really want something else. Can we get that going while I'm working night crew? Can you find me something else? And she hadn't found me anything else. Eventually, I ended up quitting. I just quit. I had to walk out. It was too controlling. I basically had it. And the slamming things, the passive aggressive, just nonsense. And I'm not working with these people. I can't do it. The change was just a 180. There was just a lot of weird energy at that new store. I can't explain it, but it just felt so negative. And I am exaggerating a bit. There was one part-timer who was nice to me, and I felt like we could kind of commiserate, and I even tried calling out in the hopes that he would get more hours in my place, and they just didn't call him in. They needed an extra worker, and they didn't call him in. It was infuriating. I don't know, I felt like it was something in the water, and them just treating me like I didn't know what I was doing. After 11 years working with that company, I do not deserve this at all. I just got fed up, and I quit. I quit my job just a few days before Christmas. I don't know if I'm soft or something, but it was it got to a point where it was just one of those things where you just get to work and you're just sitting in your van, you're sitting in your car, whatever, and you're just kind of sitting there thinking to yourself, do I really need this job? You just want to drive away and never look back. I can't fucking do this anymore, man. They're not listening to me and what I need. They're just caring about what they need. They don't care about you. How long are you gonna allow them to show just how much they don't care about you and they're not gonna listen to you? How much are you gonna allow that before you walk away? You don't deserve to be treated this way. You just don't. Go where you are valued. Go where you are needed. 'Cause they do not value you here. Yeah, got my job back. Then I didn't want it anymore. Bye-bye. So that's where I'm at. I'm homeless and unemployed for 2025. I was really trying to hold on at work and last until January so I could take my vacations and then quit. And I'm also losing my health insurance. But I'm going into 2025 with intentions to create and build, and hopefully build something good with the time that I have, really using this time wisely to figure out exactly what I want to do and face it head on. I know what I'm doing, technologically speaking. I know what I can do in that regard. However, it comes down to marketing, it comes down to creativity, the quality. It comes down to how much time that I've had, and I haven't had a lot of time. What with starting the gym and doing that, that's a whole other thing that would take up my day, and with my full-time job, I just never really had the time or the energy to do exactly what I wanted to do. What I want to do creatively takes so much time. It's about time that I did it, and I don't have any excuses anymore. I don't have anything holding me back anymore. I'm basically free. It's like jumping out of an airplane. It's like now I don't have anything to hold me. It's like taking that leap of faith, you know? It's like I feel like I'm finally doing that. And nothing is holding me back now, and I'm going to be able to live my life and take the risks that I want to take, which is really, really exciting, because all I've really ever wanted was to be an artist, make things, just create things. Like, that's what drives me. And all I've really ever wanted was the time and the energy to do that. And if I give it to myself in 2025, it's like, what can I make happen for myself? It's like, that's very exciting. It's like so much potential, though. It's like I don't want to raise so many expectations, too. My mind just goes really, really fast, but it paralyzes me at the same time. That's what happens when I have too much up here and I'm not doing enough. It's like paralysis by analysis. That's what I'm most afraid of. Like, that's what's going to happen with my time. I'm going to spend too much time analyzing and not enough time doing. But it's like I don't have a choice at this point. I have to just do. I have to just do for my own survival. That's another layer to it. So deep. I'm getting so deep with it. I don't know. It's kind of distracting me from how cold I am. I'm just getting in really deep into my thoughts. Yeah, so that's been my 2024, man. It's been a frickin' trip. That's my story. I got it under control for now. This is like a weird limbo in-between situation that I'm in. But it's an adventure. You know, life is an adventure. And we just kind of take it in stride. And we go with the flow. I'm pretty positive. Despite all the negative things that have happened this year, I'm pretty positive, and one thing led to another, and I'm glad that I had the van to kind of be an option for me, and living in it hasn't been so bad. It's not for everybody, I will say that. You know, it makes sense to me right now, so I'm just going to kind of see where it goes. I'm going to say that this is the end of story and stop it right here. I have so much to talk about and so much that I wanted to add. I think I should leave it maybe for another video. I could tell certain story times about these events and how they happened during this time, this crazy year. Please like and subscribe to my channel, hit the bell button to support my channel, to support me. I could really use it right now. I've just been going through it. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of like, can I get a little validation here for like everything that I've talked about? Thank you guys. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you who've stayed subscribed to my channel and who continue to post in the Discord. And that's where my camera battery died, so I'm just going to go ahead and skip to the end of this video. So I want to end this video on a more positive note and talk about my vacation to upstate New York back in late July. Some of my relatives were visiting from out of state, so my dad and I went to see them. I rode my Can-Am up there early in the morning and made a friend on the way. He was pretty cool. Then his exit came and we had to say our goodbyes. My aunt got this amazing Airbnb cabin with a pond and kayaks, and the backyard was so big, and they organized family Olympics with games and kayak races. It was all a lot of fun, and my aunts cooked amazing food pretty much every night. It was so nice to see everyone and enjoying peace on the lake, and we saw the fireworks on Lake George. Oh, and there was this beautiful double rainbow over Lake George, and I tried to eat it because, you know. Guys, check out this bridge. Aw, yeah. Of course, something had to happen on vacation too. My Can-Am overheated and had a crack in its coolant reservoir and was leaking coolant everywhere. Luckily, I was broken down less than 10 minutes from a Can-Am dealer, which are few and far between, so I don't think I knew just how lucky that really was at the time. They were able to seal it and get me back on the road in a couple days. Aside from that, it was both a relaxing and heart-pumping vacation. I was doing a lot of risky riding in the pouring rain at night with very poor visibility, and I was not anticipating so much rain. It was some of the most intense riding that I've ever done. But yeah, it was fun. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Happy 2025. Let's kick some ass.